Hello everyone, welcome to my review of the 3-in-1 LEGO Creator Viking warship. Set released I believe in 2021 for $110 US. It is now $120 retail price. Managed to pick up the set for actually a pretty good deal on eBay, and here's a look at the instruction manual. It is pretty cool. It does have the ability to turn into another build. There's two other builds. I preferably only wanted the actual ship, but if you guys want to know what those builds look like, you can see them right now on the screen. And right off the bat, guys, I absolutely love this set. It is very, very detailed. I love the dragon that is also included. I was a little bit worried that this like sea serpent dragon thing was going to be a little bit too small or a little bit too inaccurate, but I actually really like how it looks, and I absolutely love the color scheme that they went for. So as always, guys, let's take a look at the minifigures first. So one thing that's a little bit strange in this build is that it does include this kind of like cow. At least I think that's what this is trying to depict. It's all brick built. I think it looks kind of weird. I think they should have went with a molded creature, in my opinion. I do like the horns on it. So maybe they're going for a bull. Again, not entirely sure, like an ox or something. So it's a nice kind of additional piece, but kind of forgettable, honestly. And here's a better look at our 4 Viking warriors included. There are 2 female and 2 male characters. I definitely love the variety in the hair color here. I think that's really cool, and it's actually pretty accurate to the Vikings in Scandinavia. I also really love all the face printings on these guys and all the additional hair pieces. This hair piece is actually pretty rare with the like Viking helmets kind of attached to it. It is a one molded thing. It's pretty cool. And while these hats and helmets are not exactly accurate to what Vikings actually looked like, I think they're recognizable with this, and I think LEGO did a good job with those. And you could take off the horns, but I think this looks a little bit strange with the holes on the side, but from the front it actually looks a lot better in my opinion. But again, I think the horns are fine for the imaginary thing it's going for. Oddly enough, 2 of these figures actually do have the exact same torso print. I don't know if that means they're like husband and wife or anything like that, but then there's also these back printings here. I actually like this girl's printing the most personally. It's also kind of strange that all of them have different leg colors. I don't think it's bad like pants colors, but it's just something you don't really see pretty often in LEGO sets, as the overall printing quality on these actual Viking warriors is pretty good. So next up we have our sea serpent. I think this looks actually really good. Like I was saying in the intro, it has tons of posability. Its entire body can move, and it has Technic pins. I do find it's a little bit weak on some of these connection points, but that is kind of just something that is a reality with that piece type. Again, the face printing looks really good on it, or face build I should say looks really good. There's no actually printed elements in the set at all, which is something that's pretty unique. And again, I really like the kind of fangs and tongue here of this kind of snake looking creature. I think they accomplished what it was going for pretty good, and actually gave us a pretty sizable build that looks actually really cool. And you can have a lot of posability with it as well. You can have its tail go all the way up like this, like it's attacking the ship or something like that. I think that's one of the cooler looks to do. Definitely something I might actually put in a mock. I just think that looks really, really cool. Now, the ship is 100% my favorite part of the set. I must say the whole design is fantastic. It is so well built compared to something like the 3-in-1 pirate ship, which if you guys haven't seen that review, go check it out right now. I actually think it's a pretty fair comparison between these two sets, but I much prefer the Viking ship personally. I love the blue color that they used with the brown as well, and actually the hull has tons of areas for your minifigures to be placed and used in there. There's also a place for them to sit and eat here, or just store weapons and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. There's also a place to cook some fish over there. And one thing I really, really liked is how they were able to accomplish these like Viking looking kind of ends to the ships at the bow and the front of the ship. I just think they look really cool, particularly this front area. This looks like a really sick dragon. It kind of resembles the sea serpent here, but not exactly. And I find it to be really, really cool. It looks actually super accurate. Very clever part usage. I might actually try to do stuff like this in medieval mocks in the future. I think this is one of the most impressive views of the actual ship, is when you see it full mast like that with the front hull. It's just really, really appealing. I love how this looked and all that. And it's very sizable. It's actually pretty heavy too. That's one thing I wasn't really able to tell that much. When looking at the ship at first on box, it looked kind of small, but it is considerably larger than the 3-in-1 pirate ship, and feels like it's actually worth more than that. I also really love these custom shields that they were able to build in these. These were a bit kind of repetitive to build, and a little bit kind of like, it just kind of got boring, but I think the overall look looks really cool. They're also all completely different. You can have different combinations of them as well. You also have this kind of launcher here. I find this to be a really cool play feature, where you can just kind of load this one in, and then you can just pull back on this thing, and launch one of these stone pieces. It doesn't work every time perfectly. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I think this is actually a pretty cool detail that's kind of fun. There's also some fun torches and tons of other places to put more minifigures along this entire boat hull. I also really love the mast and sail design here. It's really, really cool. All of these like custom birds that are also on this are like ravens, something like that. I find them to be pretty cool as well. So in my opinion, if you guys are at all a pirate or kind of like Viking Lego fan or just like medieval kind of era fan, this is actually a really great set. I know it's a 3-in-1 set. The other builds are not that great. I just think the Viking build by itself is really good. And I would definitely recommend picking this one up before it retires, because I do believe it is retiring pretty soon, as well as the Creator 3-in-1 pirate ship. And if I had to pick between the two, I would definitely take the Viking ship 10 out of 10 times. I just think the minifigures are a lot better. The build is really good and sizable. It actually feels like something I would kind of use or play with, or a kid would really love. It's a really great build. Of course, the Sea Serpent with that as well is just absolutely awesome. So I definitely think this set is a great set. I honestly think it's perfect. I don't really have any complaints with it. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. That I rarely do that with Lego sets, but this one honestly deserves it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. And without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.